I think I could speak for many of us when I say that shadow people is probably one of the most scariest paranormal encounters anybody could face. Well, I remember when I first started reacting to paranormal, like ghost videos and things like that, ghost investigations, I always used to think that ghosts were like these transparent figures that would just like swish around the screen, or like I knew about orbs and things like that. But then I started seeing these dark entities poking their heads around corners or vanishing all of a sudden. It just freaked me out. And the more I look into these shadow people, shadow beings, the more it's just so weird, because I've just been sitting here doing a little bit of research into what these shadow beings are. And what I've become to realize is, depending on your culture and where you are, they all have different meanings and understandings of what these things are, different beliefs, okay? And it's really, really interesting. I've got some videos here for you to see today, which I suppose gives you a different idea of what these things could be. Now, the reason why I'm covering it is because I used to think that these shadow beings were demonic entities, okay? Like dark entities of the spirit world. But that was because I was reacting to ghost videos. But since we've been introducing more alien footage and alien and UFO footage into this channel, my thoughts are slightly morphing now, to the point of where when I react to horror videos, I say horror videos, paranormal videos, I don't automatically see these black shadow figures as spirits. I see them as potential aliens. So let's take a little look at these videos, and then maybe you can tell me which one like you believe in more so, or if you don't believe in any of these things at all, tell me. But I must warn you, some of these videos are a little bit freaky. They might plant seeds in your head. I don't want you starting freaking out, okay? All right? So let's begin with this one, all right? This is what the Egyptians think that shadow people are.
Another one of the earliest recordings of shadow entities comes from the ancient Egyptian Kabit, one of the 7 parts of a person's soul. This part of the soul was considered the shadow, the piece that remained here on earth in hidden places after a person's death. Ancient Egyptian beliefs about the human soul are extremely extensive since, according to Sir E.A. Wallace Budge, the former keeper of Egyptian antiquities at the British Museum, the Egyptians believed humans had more than one soul. These souls were all separate from each other and had different functions, but they were all connected to each other through the human body, or the Khat. At death, the spiritual aspect of these souls ascends to the stars to begin the next stage of its journey in the constellation of Orion. But the animating force behind the body is said to remain on Earth with the corpse. This force is supposed to be a combination of the Ka, double, and Kabit, shadow.
Oh, right. Okay, so in a nutshell, 6 of the spirits go to the stars, and the shadow of your body stays on Earth. That's weird, man. And I wonder why there's 7. I wonder why there's 7. Why are there 7 spirits? 7 spirits of the body. Okay. Ancient Egyptian conception of the soul. You've got Ket, which is the physical body, Sar, the spiritual body, Ren, name, Ba, the personality, Ka, the double or vital essence, Ib, the heart, Shut, the shadow, or Sekhem, the power form. That's 8. Is Ket, the physical body, actually not the spirit? That must not be the spirit then. So the others are the 7 spirits. Maybe, is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is. That's interesting. Now listen to this guy as well. This is a doctor, I can't remember his name. This is Dr. Delbert Blair. Listen to his theory on what shadow people are.
Up and they're seeing shadow people. Pretty soon you'll be seeing shadow people as you go down the street. Don't become frightened. Simply means that your higher vibrations now are kicking in, and the spectrum outside of the 12 spectrum site we have, you begin to look out the corner of your eye, because that's when you go into a different spectrum. That's why you always see them out the corner of your eye, especially when you wake up in the morning, because you're coming back into your body, by the way. You die every night, by the way. So don't worry about it. You're going to die tonight and look forward to it. You will, and you will. And that's where it's supposed to be. That's why when you ascend in harmony, you just wake up one day and it's all cool.
So he's saying, first of all, he's saying that the reason why you only see like these shadow people in the peripheral is because of it's the spectrum that you don't see, right? It's a different spectrum around here, like spectrums of light, I would imagine.
But we've got to fear that because we don't know we die every night and look forward to it. And you cross to those spectrums where they exist every night. That's what they call fourth dimension. And that's when you see the old hag. Some people wake up and they got those hags sitting on their chest. They can't breathe. I felt like a wizard. That's because the pressure of your soul body coming back in was not quite seated. Let me explain the witch's ride right quickly, the old hag right quickly, and the extra dimensional that you go through right quickly. You're like on the bottom of a pyramid, only the pyramid has been built on top of you. So when you lie in your bed at night, there's a pyramid that's been built on top of you. And the pyramid has 7 dimensions.
7 again, right?
The top dimension actually goes into an area that you might call air. The base of it is in what you might call an ocean of matter. And you're beneath all of it. So when your id or spirit, or what they call the ka, comes out of it, it goes through that first dimension into all the shrink.
The car, hang on. The car. Or the double, or vital essence.
And the crustacea and the crab and everything that are on the bottom of that ocean. You got to go through that. But then as you float up, you become lighter until finally you become like, what do they call it? Sea anemones and flying fish. If you're a flying fish, it's really good because you can leap out of the water into the air. Well, you can not only can do that, but if you can really get through all of it, you can leap out of all the corpuscular energy, or what they call matter, into the air. Then you're in what they call now astral flight.
Astral traveling.
And you're flying all over the place. But when you come back in again, you come down from the flight up there, all the way back in, down to the bottom of there, and just before you cross over into what your body has now become, you wake up. And you wake up before you're completely reconnected. And in not being reconnected, you wake up too soon, so you're not back in your body, you're in free space, and you can't scream and you can't move, and you say, but nothing's coming out, and you go completely panicking. And the old hag said, we got us one now. And the other one said, we got us one now. And you're screaming, and then finally you wake up and you said, I had a nightmare.
But apparently, well, first of all, why do you see those, the hag and the hat man, right? And also I did a bit of research and I found that mare I can't remember now. Mare meaning, I think, is like that demon thing that sits on your chest. That's right. Yes, it is. A mare in folklore is this like goblin type thing that sits on your chest. That's why you have a nightmare. When you have a nightmare, it means the mare is sitting on your chest.
My God. Well, sometimes you can have daymares. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you might not even get a mare. You might get a stallion, you know. How about sex classes? So there you are. All you did is you woke up too soon, because every time you go out of your body, you travel. It's just that when you get good at it and transfer your memory, you are aware of where you're traveling. Many people are waking up and they're seeing.
Okay, right. Now, this next one is it's a whole bag of different theories, really. He touches on aliens here, which we're going to be jumping into a little bit more in a second. But take a listen to this, because this is the whole mixed bag of what these possibilities could be.
Shadow people are figures you often see out of the corner of your eye. You aren't sure what you saw. It might have looked like a person, or your mind was perhaps filling in the gaps. Rarely you'll ever get a good look at them. They're pitch black with a rough humanoid form. They almost look.
Notice he said as well, the corner of your eye. And that doctor said, he was also saying about corner of your eye because of the spectrum of what you can and can't see.
Look like they're made from the shadows themselves. Some are seen as the size of a human adult, others are short like children, some are solid black and others are smoky. They're believed to be spirits or demons, but other theories think they might be aliens or possibly native interdimensional beings. They live on the earth, walk among us, but they're able to slip in and out of different dimensions. One theory suggests that these beings might actually be your own dead spirit, watching your life play back like a movie at the moment of your death.
And you had said that about the DMT release, right? It's like you watch your life back very quickly.
Others think they're here to abduct us for some unknown reason, and those who are abducted might experience interdimensional travel, which might take an incredible toll on the human mind. If you're lucky, the paralysis will end before the shadow person can snatch you right out of your bed.
Oh, mate. Oh, God, that's freaky, man. Now, this, I stopped it halfway because I thought it was so interesting. Okay, this dude knows exactly what he's talking about. It seems like he knows exactly what he's talking about. This is the jinn, okay? What jinns are, because obviously there's so many videos, and I used to react to a lot of these videos of the jinns, and I should go back to it really, and especially after hearing this, okay? Because it just makes it even more freaky. So, yeah, this is mad. Listen to this.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you in the mercy and blessings of God. It's amazing to see so many people interested in reading Quran and speaking very highly of it and amazed and blown away by it. It's amazing. God's final revelation to mankind is amazing. But if you just started reading the Quran, you're probably wondering, what is a jinn? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining about when he created Adam, he ordered all of the angels, everybody that was present, to fall prostrate, to bow down to Adam, welcoming him into existence, welcoming him, acknowledging his position. Allah says all of them fell prostrate, all of them bowed except for Iblis. He was of the jinn. Iblis, also known as Lucifer. Satan is not his name. Satan is a title. But I'm going to get into that later. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he was of the jinn, he was not a fallen angel. In Islam, there are three beings that God created. Angels he created from light. Man he created from earth. Jinn he created from smokeless fire.
Just quickly, I don't know if it's this video, but I saw something else as well. Apparently, in the Quran, the jinn is mentioned 29 times.
Whatever smokeless fire is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows.
Let's just hear that bit again.
He knows.
There's three beings, right?
God created. Angels he created from light. Man he created from earth. Jinn he created from smokeless fire. Whatever smokeless fire is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Allahu Alam. He knows. The difference between angels, jinn, and man, only two of those beings have free will. Angels are the oldest beings, the first beings that God created. Jibril being the first. Angels do not have free will. They were created for the sole purpose of carrying out God's commands. That's it. They don't know how to disobey God.
Right.
If Allah ordered an angel to sit there and count the raindrops until the end of time, guess what? That angel will be standing there counting the raindrops until the end of time. As a matter of fact, they say angel Israfil, which can be translated into Raphael. He's the companion of the trumpets. In other words, he will be the angel that will sound the trumpet, that will cause life to cease to exist. When the end of time, the end of the world comes, Raphael will sound the trumpet.
Now that's weird. When I heard that, mate, I was like, oh my god, is that, you know, these the trumpet sounds that I've done videos of before, where people are just going, what is that sound? It's like in the sky, right? And apparently on the 7th trumpet, the 7th sound, that's like the end of time or something like that. And he's talking, mate, it's all connecting, man.
By God's command. And it said that he sold angels just to show how they can't disobey their orders. It said that he's standing there with the trumpet to his lips, staring at the throne of God, waiting for him to give him the okay. Scared to even blink. And because of that, they say his eyes have like glossed over. That's how angels work. Jinn have free will. Man has free will. Angels don't. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to create Adam, angels asked him, they said, will you create another who will cause corruption and bloodshed on the earth? Meaning there were already beings on the earth before mankind, which were the jinn. And the jinn were down here cutting up. They were wild. But there's good jinn, there's bad jinn. Throughout time, Hollywood and media and whatnot, they have played around with it into folklore. That's where genies came from. Even if you've seen the old Wishmaster movie, like the chief genie, he was a jinn. All those ideas came from.
Wow.
Jinn. People have made fun of it. When you get to talking about demons, jinn. When you get to talking about seeing ghosts, jinn. Jinn have long lifespans. Jinn know secrets that we don't know because they know our ancestors. So when the person, oh, my grandma, visited me, that was a jinn. Now, there are good jinn and there are bad jinn. Iblis, aka Lucifer, he was a jinn, and I read somewhere, Iblis was to the jinn what Adam was to man, which was like the first of his kind. He basically had rank amongst the angels to where he can come in heaven and praise Allah in the midst of the angels. So, how did he earn the title Satan, Shaitan? When God ordered them to bow down to Adam, he became the first hater. He said, I'm not going to bow down to him. I'm better than him. He's made of dirt. I'm made of smokeless fire. Surely my creation is greater than his. But it's amazing because Satan believes in God. He believes in Allah. He even prayed to him. He said, please grant me respite until the day that they are raised up. In other words, please don't destroy me just yet. Give me a little time. Let me stay alive. Lengthen my term here. Lengthen my life, and I will show you that they are not worthy of this rank, of this high position that you give them. So when people be like, oh, it's going to be a war of good and evil at the end of the world, it's going to be Satan against God. No. God created him. If he wanted to, he could kill him without lifting a finger.
Wow, because I've often thought of that, I've often thought of that. Like, if he's if it's that powerful, just erase that, Wow, okay.
Without anything. He could say a word, he could think it, and he would be dead. Satan, Shaitan, is competing with us to show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we're not worthy. Allah said, sure, go ahead. Whichever ones you're able to knock off the straight path, I will throw them in hell with you.
Oh, shit. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Okay.
The term Shaitan, the term Satan, that means distance or far removed. So if you think about it, his name was Iblis or Lucifer. When he disobeyed God, he became Shaitan or Satan, which means far removed or distant. So when he disobeyed God, he became far removed, distant from the mercy of the Most High.
That was so interesting. For me, like, I hate talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it because it's just, we got to sort of paint a picture of like why I'm mentioning this. So I'm agnostic, okay? So I don't believe, but I'm willing to hear like information, okay? I need to have information and to have like proof to say, okay, yeah, I sort of believe. But like for me, That's an amazing story, right? It's an amazing story that sort of connects pieces of the puzzle together. But it's difficult because I've not really heard other sides of stories, of other Christian stories, or I've not looked into it enough to myself, because for me, in my head, it's just all different stories. It's all different stories, and that's it. But that is that's really interesting. Okay, now this one is going into a little bit more of the alien, different dimensions and things like that. Okay, so take a listen to this guy.
Failed to ask the question, are there other beings and entities living within these other dimensions? When we talk about some of these other beings that are coming from some of these other dimensions, we get this perception of, okay, they may be dark, and just because they are dark in nature does not mean that their intentions are dark.
Right.
We may be dealing with several different species that are using a same energetic modality to enter into our plane of existence here on Earth. And we do a disservice when we think, okay, something's from a lower vibration, something's from a lower realm, so therefore we have to cast it off as evil, nasty, nefarious. Let's actually get to know some of these beings and some of these entities and find out what exactly they may be. What's their intention?
Very well said. These all influence each other and play a part in the whole, as humans live in the middle band, that we're to learn from all of these realms.
You have this duality within our universe. What if some other intelligent beings that are out there have learned some of the different things that we've been trying to do here on Earth, like astral projection, these sorts of things? Are they able to project their consciousness across the cosmos, maybe even interdimensionally,
absolutely,
to manifest here on Earth?
Wow, because that also interlinks with what that doctor was saying about when you go to sleep and you can astro travel. Maybe these beings know how to do that, and they can just travel wherever they like across galaxies, maybe. All right, I mean, it sounds a bit far-fetched, but it's a possibility. So apparently UFOs have like a cloaking ability. We've seen evidence of that. But what if aliens themselves had cloaking suits or cloaking abilities which made them look like shadow people? Check this out.
Could shadow people be aliens? Because it's always aliens.
I can't rule it out. Aliens capable of traveling to Earth would likely have all kinds of exotic technologies, and that could include a kind of cloaking technology that makes them look like shadowy figures. But my question would be, why would they want to do that? We already have metamaterials capable of producing limited invisibility across a narrow part of the electromagnetic spectrum, as we talked about in episode 207 on UFO crash debris. In the future, we're very likely to have full metamaterial cloaking, allowing us to make objects completely invisible. So if aliens wanted to cloak themselves from our sight, why not go all the way and just be invisible? Why would they settle for looking like dark, shadowy figures? I mean, a human can do the same thing by putting on a black body stocking and pulling a black hood over their head. Also, if shadow people were aliens, we'd expect to see them frequently do things that aliens are reported to do in the UFO literature, like getting on board a UFO or abducting people, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So the idea that they're aliens seems to me to be just speculation, not something backed up by evidence.
What about the idea that they are interdimensionals, visitors from another dimension?
It would depend on whether it was from a physical dimension like ours or a spiritual dimension. If it was a physical dimension, then they would need the technology to cross dimensional barriers, which is technology we're not even close to having. So I would expect them to have technologies we are close to having, like metamaterial cloaking, in which case the same question applies to them that would apply to aliens. Why would you just make yourself look shadowy? Why not become completely invisible if you were trying to hide?
Well, see, I actually saw a video that I tried. This is actually a retake, okay? But I tried to upload it, but it got flagged, so I had to take it down. So this is like a re-edit. And I managed to find this, which I thought was super interesting. But on that other video, they were saying maybe because aliens are still trying to work out who we are, what we are, they're unable to understand what our visual spectrum is. So therefore their cloaking ability is what they assume we can't see. Sounds a little bit far-fetched. I don't fully believe in it myself. However, later on in this video, I'm going to show you evidence. I'm going to say evidence because this is popping up again. And this is, like, for me, hard evidence of shadow people, which brings us back to Miami Mall and then also the Las Vegas family that saw shadow people in their backyard.
Also, I don't see any evidence clearly pointing to them having an origin in another physical dimension. To me, this sounds like more speculation that's not supported by evidence. I can't rule out that some shadow people might be aliens or interdimensionals. I just don't see any evidence supporting this. I thus think that to the extent that shadow people reports have a paranormal explanation, it's more likely that they have a non-physical rather than a physical origin.
I want to just sort of like end the video off now with a couple of footage of what I consider amazing shadow people footage, okay? It's going to be 3 videos. 2 of them are going to be in the spirit world, and 1 of them is going to be in the alien world, okay? Check out this.
And captures a shadow person, also known as the shadow people.
This one, he sees the Hat Man.
In his room. Watch what happens when the shadow man has been caught.
Mate, imagine.
What the hell? Amen.
Okay, could be fake, may not be. I haven't got a clue. So there's that one, but oh, don't worry, it gets better. Check out this one. This is from one of my favorite channels, Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. Sorry. Look at this.
Are you in this bathroom?
I did not see this in the chair. In fact, I never pointed this out in the original video released because I didn't notice this when putting the video together.
Now notice on one of the videos it says that these shadow people can be tall, dark figures, or it can be even childlike dark figures. That's strange. Now look at this next one.
I am really glad I don't always see things like this in real time, because when you do see things like this in real time, encounters like this can cause such a deep burning fear in your chest. You never really get over the encounter. You just learn to live with it and move on.
Oh, fuck! EVP sound. Oh, my fucking son of a bitch! Oh, my God!
And I've seen his videos many times, and I've also spoken to some debunkers, and they can't even debunk this. So it's pretty crazy what's going on there. So this video here is what I consider the clearest and most convincing footage of a shadow being alien. Like it hasn't even been debunked yet. And I've managed to find the raw footage, the original footage, which is amazing because there's no text in front of it or font in front of it or anything like that or pictures. It's just pure original footage. It's amazing. Now, the reason why I think this is because obviously that huge event happened in Miami Mall with these shadow figures that were seen in Miami Mall or claimed to have been seen. But this just sums up what people saw in Miami Mall. Check out this. So a bit of a backstory before we get into the footage, which I'm sure you all know about it, but I'm going to give you a brief overview. There was a family in Las Vegas that called 911 because they saw 9-foot black shadow beings, alien looking, in their backyard. Now this is a kid who's explaining what happened, and there's some video footage leading up to the actual event. Now let's take a listen to this.
The police officer's body cam, And here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video.
So this is where a different police officer saw this thing falling to earth.
Here's a ring camera video. You could hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
Okay.
So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family.
And this is when they called 911. And then a police officer came over. Now, you're about to see now the footage of what I consider the clearest footage of this shadow alien. And I'm going to break it down because there's still a lot of people that are saying it's not real. But mate, you're not going to get clearer footage than this. And let me tell you, this video still to this day hasn't been debunked. There's only more and more people analyzing it and saying, yeah, this is real. Check this out.
Have a forklift.
Me dijo ahora, me dice mamá es un show, me conté que dije me cerró y es muy callado.
Acá que dije
que la mesima conté que la acabas. Ahí me dicen pálpale, hay que utilizar con camisas. Pero llevan usas, llevan un virus.
De vuelta que se usan, de vuelta que sí cayó con dos y luz.
Ni comni, si pero pral. Si no te pares y con volar.
Ahora me que cantes París le gallengue a la chorsi, ahora. Sosi. ¡Ay! ¡Profesor!
Now, you may have missed it, right? You may have missed it. So I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to slow it down. Here we go. Watch up here.
Ahora me que cantes París le gallengue a la chorsi.
It's there. Any second now. Right there, mate. Right there. Now wait. Now wait, because I want to dive into this one again. Because there's loads of people saying it's the shadows of the people. Right. First of all, shadows have to hit things. Shadows have to hit walls, have to hit trees. It doesn't just manifest in the middle of nothingness. Okay? That there, mate. And look, watch also. Here. Now, the shadow is coming in this direction. And also in front of him there. Okay? This direction. This direction. Up, back. This is pure light around here. Now watch. Watch. Now you could say that there's a slight cast here, right? Now look, this is blatantly something coming in right here. Now it's not the shadow from him because it would be hitting the wood. This is blatantly something coming in on this area. There's no shadow casting this way. The video shows them all walking this way. This fence goes straight across. This is blatantly... Look. Blatantly... And here it is. Where's the shadow? There's no shadow casting this way. There's no shadow casting this way. There is nobody here casting. There's not a shadow here. Shadows have to hit something. This here is nothing from any part of these three individuals. Guys, there is no shadow here. And nothing's coming from the other direction. Look at it. And some people saying, yeah, it's because of the the light that he's got in his hand. Well, why is it not shining? Like, what is this? What is that shadow of? Right? It's just walking in, guys. This is just clearly walking in. So, what do you think these shadow beings are? Do you think they're the seventh spirit or one of the seventh spirits that stays here on Earth after we die? Do you think they are jinns? Do you think they are alien beings? Do you think they are dark demonic spirits, demons? You tell me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Get the merch at Caspersight.com. Just Rambo it.